And sacred. Welcome everyone to Awaken the Calling Within. I'm your host, Kathy Forrest, and I am so excited for all of us to gather and dive into this process. So let's call in sacred space. You can stand if you like, or you can sit and just feel the energies as I call them in. So let's all take a big, deep breath. And as we exhale, we're going to drop our grounding cords. Just imagine a cord going straight through your body, dropping down into the earth. Feel the roots from your feet dropping down. Feel her energy just pull you down, 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 and hold you. Feel yourself anchored. And then inhale. Draw that earth energy up through your body. Send it up and out through the top of the head. Connect with the heart of the Divine Mother above us. And then inhale. Draw that cosmic energy down through your body. Send it all the way down through your roots into the earth. Activating the as above, so below flow. Connecting with that flow, breathing in and breathing out. Activate the as within, so without. As the universe, so the soul. Moving to the north, we welcome Mother Earth. We give such great thanks to be in this physical body right now. Moving to the south, we welcome water and clear, clean, current, emotional energy. We welcome love and joy, abundance, and flow. Moving to the west, we welcome air and mind, focus and clarity. All of our guides, all of our etheric allies, all of our angels, all of our ancestors. Moving to the east, we welcome fire and movement, passion, divine right action. Moving to the center, we call in the divine feminine. We welcome the divine feminine and the divine masculine in sacred right relationship. We call that beautiful energy down, down, down through our body. We call up Mama Gaia to pull and magnetize that energy through us. And we welcome our own sweet, extraordinary souls into this circle. We ask that all these energies be with us, pray with us, dance with us for our mutual benefit. All right, we're going to move. We're going to activate all those things that we just called in. We're going to turn them on in our body through movement. So everybody get up and move your body with the music. Here we go. Okay, that should have gotten everybody tuned in and turned on, and we're ready to begin. So hang on here. Let's get going. So I know if you're here today, it's because all of you have felt that gnawing ache, that scratch, either in that place behind your neck, in that place in your gut. It's that thing that wakes you up at night, or that thing that you dream about. And in truth, that's why you're all here. And if you're here, you probably fall into one of these categories. Yes, you know, you and all of us were meant for more, but you don't have the time or energy to think about it. It's like you're working, you're taking care of kids, you're taking care of people you live with, and you're just busy, busy, busy. And it still hangs out back there, but you don't have time to fool with it. Number two, you may have that clear vision of what you're meant to do, but you don't have any idea how to do it. And it feels overwhelming. It feels like too much. And so you just leave it out there. You might even vision board about it. You might do some things, put some intentions out there, but nothing ever really happens. And you just kind of keep floating along. And then three, and I think this is true for a lot of people, you have a clear vision. You may have even tried to make a go of it. But whatever you tried didn't work out the way you thought it was going to work. Or you may still be trying, and you may be in a situation where no matter how hard you try, it just doesn't seem, you don't feel successful. It doesn't seem like it's taking off. And you're frustrated and you don't want to waste your time anymore. So trust me, I have been in all of these places and probably a few others. The truth is, you are being called to great things, and there is a way. But number one, you have to know the tools and the path to take. And the way we do things on this planet is changing. And I bet you're beginning to feel that. Things that used to work, you know, the things that we could always rely on, that Protestant work ethic, like powering through with determination and grit, setting up that intention, making a plan, and doggedly sticking to that plan, using a lot of push to make things happen. All of those things are helpful, and they all have their place, and they're all masculine in nature. And most of them, some would say they're leaving the planet. Others would say they're taking a back seat. What that means is they're not going to be as effective as they used to be. And I'm learning firsthand that there are other things that are more effective. So today, I'm going to give you three steps that can radically change the way you do things and can help you harness the energies of this planet to assist you and help you move more powerfully into actually doing what you came here to do rather than just dreaming about it. And I'm also going to show you how at the end to get assistance along the way. These are things that you can do yourself, but we may have a tendency not to, or we may not know the first thing about it. So I know firsthand that this works because I spent 20 years doing it this way. I spent 20 years of struggle, 20 years of feeling inadequate and less than, but determined, and 20 years of powering through. And truly, all of it was unnecessary. I know that now, but back then, I didn't. So the truth is, and I know you've heard this, you probably are sick and tired of hearing it. I know I was. This planet provides us everything we need. How many of you are sick and tired of hearing that? We just may not know. I mean, we think of it in terms of food and shelter and water, and yes, but there's more. And we just may not know how to harness it. We may not know the first thing about using and utilizing what she's giving and gifting to us. So, step one, beyond just food and water and shelter, the elements, earth, air, water, fire, and spirit, are potent and powerful tools that can provide both a map of how to create our visions, and they are also powerful forces that can actually support us as we move into the creation process. Most people don't know that. We don't even think about working with the elements. We may not even know the first step in how to access that power, but you do it through the process of alchemy. You literally attune your bodies to the elements through ceremony, and you learn how they function, how they work with us to assist our creations in coming into fruition. Now, if there may be those of you on this call that join me on the full moon ceremonies, and if you do that, you're dipping your toe in. You're getting a little taste of how to work with the elements. But you can also anchor those energies into your body and begin to let them work through you while you direct their flow and get guidance from them. So that's step one, work with the elements. And I know what you're thinking. Sounds a little bit woo-woo. Trust me, it's not. And we learn how to do that in the New Earth Priestess process. Step two. Most of us don't realize that there is a map of our life out in the stars. It tells us what we came in with, the gifts we came in with, what we're good at. It also tells us what we are destined for, where we are going, what we came here to do. And it tells us the fastest path to get there. So step two is connecting to the guides we were born with, the stars, through our astrology chart. All of us have a literal creation team that's available to assist us anytime. And the map of who those players are and how to utilize their energies, and all of the other things I mentioned, are all found in our chart. Looks like somebody's got a question. Valerie, I love that. Yeah, it's kind of time for us to do that. But we've been in the floaty stage, Val, and it's time for us to begin planting our roots. Once again, for those of us that are very practical minded, that may sound a little woo. Nope. We also learn how to do that in the New Earth Priestess process. And we don't just learn who ours are. You learn how to read your own chart. You learn how to work with it and work with those archetypal energies the same way you work with the elements. That is possible. And step three, we attend to the most important relationship we have. The relationship between our inner feminine and our inner masculine, commonly known as the sacred marriage. Now, this is the most pivotal relationship in your life, and most folks never give it a second thought. Why is it so important? There's a beautiful word in psychology called transference, which means you overlay your old stories about relationships into the present relationships you have now. That's one reason. I'm going to talk about that. But one of the things that women don't know is that we live most of our lives with an unintegrated masculine. We are taught certain things that we know as feminine, and because we're in a feminine body, we identify as much as we can with those things. And if we don't, we feel like there's something wrong with us or we're broken. But what that really does is make us lopsided. And so all of our masculine energy goes dormant. And then we project that energy out onto other masculine people in our lives. And it wreaks havoc with our relationships because suddenly your partner is a mirror of what's really going on inside of you. You have no idea that that's happening and you're just mad at them. And it's all their fault and they did something wrong, or vice versa. So we spend so much of our energy scuffling with other people that we don't ever have the time or the energy to do the thing that we came here to do. And we don't have both our feminine energy and our masculine energy on board, anchored in, so they can work together. And 9 times out of 10, if you haven't dealt with this relationship, if you watched not so good relationships between masculine and feminine people growing up, you're going to just outpicture those. Those are in your system and you're going to create them in your outside world. So of all the things, and yes, we do this in the New Earth Priestess process and so much more. But of all the things that we do in there, this is one of the most pivotal. One that I can remember years ago, hearing about things like this and just going, wait. So I know what all of you are thinking. You know, this isn't the business class that teaches you how to do a business or how to do those things. None of those things that I just mentioned has anything to do with doing sacred work or starting a business. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. So most of you that have connected with me, connect with me because I'm a ceremony leader. Those of you that have known me in the past know that I did fire walks and sweat lodges, and I've led women's circles for 30 years. And this is the me that you know and connect with somewhat. This is what you know of me. But what you don't know is that, number one, I made it look easy. I was powering through, but I was broke all the time. I was living a way that most people would not agree to live so that they could do their sacred work. So I was in what we call an austerity cabin, no running water, no electricity, living on the land, because that way I didn't have to pay rent. And yeah, that was dedication. I did this for 20 years. For 20 years, I led other women without the support of anyone mentoring me. and without the vibrational support of the priestess process. Now, mind you, I knew about the priestess process. I just had no idea what it was or what it did, but I had seen it online even 20 years ago. And I would, pine over it. I wanted to do it, but obviously I couldn't afford to do it. And it was all in person back then. So I would have had to drive a distance to find a circle. And it just seemed out of my reach. So I just went on by myself and did the thing. And yeah, I helped a lot of women. I trained a lot of women. I did some really good things at the expense of my physical body, at the expense of my marriage, at the expense of my emotional well-being and what I thought of myself. I just made it look good. And then the bottom dropped out. All of those circles that I was running, they suddenly just dried up. And I was forced back into the work world. So I had to get a job, a real, what people would call a real job, even though I considered this my real job. And I kept my business going, loosely. I made sure that the outside job that I had would go with my schedule so I could still keep doing healing, still keep doing the little smattering of circles that I did have. And during that time, what I would consider a very dark night of the soul, I reached out to my spiritual mentor, Mary Magdalene. Now, the way I did that, I just Googled her. And the first thing that popped up was Lisa Michaels. And guess what Lisa Michaels was teaching? The priestess process. It was all online. I had a job. I could afford it. And I signed up. And the rest is history. So I want to tell you first what the New Earth Priestess process is. And this is straight from the woman that brought it through. It is a living intelligence. So when I just, put up the emails and send you the information, you have no idea what I'm inviting you into. When I say it's a living intelligence, it really and truly is. It all chemically comes into your body as you step into the process. What it looks like on the outside is an enlivening initiatory process for women and men. I've taken men through the process who want to open to an entirely new, direct spiritual experience. It's 9 months long, and it gives you an attunement that will help you embrace your own inner authority and your co-creative divinity through the balancing of your masculine and feminine. So you literally go through a metamorphosis process. It helps you, and you learn all kinds of things. How to work with the power of sacred intent, how to co-create living ceremony, and how to self-proclaim as a priestess once you finish the cycle. I put your intention for the process on my altar, and you are in the cauldron with me for 9 months. And every week we get together live and in person. You won't find another, nowadays you sign up for a process like this, you may get the instructor 4 times on a group call and the rest is recorded. No way. We do 30 modules together in person so that you get the benefit of everything that's coming through me at that time. And it's different for every single group. It's an attunement to the divine feminine. It gives you access to more. It opens inner channels that for you may have been closed. For most of us, those channels have been closed and we just haven't had access. And trust me, I know what it's like to live without access. So I want better for you. I want to make it easy for you. Because if I had had this 30 years ago, I would be in a much different place even than I am now. Although, I'll tell you where I am now in a moment. It gives you a connection to a global lineage. So this process has been around since the 90s, since the 1990s. And it has spanned the globe. This is just a tiny little smattering of a drop in the bucket of all your priestess sisters that are a part of this lineage line. So you are connected not only to your intimate circle that you do with me, but you're connected to a broader, bigger circle, a base of powerful, supportive, spiritual women. Things that you will experience. You will experience a deepening of your spiritual life. You'll have a safe place to sort out your spiritual journey and get realigned with who you are and what you came here to do. You'll get a reconnection, a recharge to the divine. You'll learn how to work with the alchemical forces, how to work with your astrology chart and your creation team. You'll have a shamanic death and rebirth experience, as well as many, many other things. You will have a circle of sisters that will have your heart and will hold you as you walk through the process. What happened for me is I went from that crazy woman that lived in the woods to a more sane version of me that now has a 6-figure business, all from doing the priestess process and offering it to other women. All of that is available for you as well. What I realized in that whole situation was that I had the tools. I knew what I was doing. I was teaching women well, but I didn't have the benefit of the attunements. I didn't have the benefit of all of that supportive system. And I didn't have all of those little moving parts turned on inside of me. And I promise you, that's a real thing. And most of us in our modern day and age, plugged into our computers, plugged into all kinds of screens, we've lost that. We've lost our connection to the planet, and we've lost the benefit of true spiritual attunement and attainment. And the priestess process can give that back to you. And why we need you is because the primary purpose of the New Earth priestess process, as far as I'm concerned, is to create an army of women that are ready to reestablish New Earth consciousness on the planet. All of us have a vision of what we thought, the planet we thought we were coming to. And we got here and it was, we feel bewildered because this ain't it. And the reason is because we have lost our connection to her. The priestess process helps you reestablish that connection. So the doors are now open for a new circle to begin. We will begin February 1st with our opening Mary Magdalene ceremony. If you are ready to answer the call, watch your inbox for details. If you sign up before January 23rd, you can save $500. If you still have questions and you aren't quite sure, I'm going to put a link for you to set up a call, a Zoom call with me, so that we can get together and chat about it. There's also going to be a link so that you can go onto the page and learn more about the priestess process. So I'm going to be sending out the video of this class along with all of these links and all of this information. If you want to get a jump start, all you have to do is copy down this link for sure, and you can set up a time to talk with me. If you want to learn more about the priestess process, you can go to Celestial Forest Institute, and on the Divine Feminine dropdown, just find the New Earth Priestess process and click on that box. So, does anyone have any questions before we dance and close our time together? If you do, you can either put them in the chat, or you can unmute yourself. Okay. If there are no more questions, we are going to get up and move our bodies and dance and close this circle. Here we go. All right, looks like Carly might have had a question. I don't know if Carly's still with us. Maybe not. Okay, cool. Okay, everyone. I give thanks to the elemental forces for holding space for us today. I give thanks for all of these beautiful souls that are doing their sacred work. And I close this circle in the light. All right, watch your inbox. There's more freebies to come. Oh, hang on here. Perfect. It's like we're going to have to stop the share in order to end it. There we go.